Welcome back to Tabletop Bob. I've got a friend of mine here, a good friend, Chris, who's going to be joining me for a one-shot in a few weekends from now. It's a new series, Chris, called Warhammer 40K Players Play Dungeons and Dragons. Welcome to the channel.
Thanks, Bob. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So, Chris, why don't you tell everyone who you are?
Well, my name is Chris Dubuque, and I made a splash for myself back in 2007 as Jowl Balls on YouTube and in the 40K scene, and somehow managed to rise to acclaim, I don't know, or infamy,
totally.
I guess. And and started painting models and putting them on YouTube and recording and winning and recording and publishing games, and all of a sudden this kind of
And
became a
winning
thing.
again.
Yeah, and but then talking about it and laughing
Yeah.
about it and having fun. Anyway, so I'm coming back, and this time, and here I am.
That's right. So this segment that's going to be on the channel, I'm going to try to get some of my friends who are in the competitive Warhammer 40K community to come on and just see how different gamers play D&D. And Chris, you're no stranger to D&D though. Although you did, like you said, made a name for yourself in Warhammer. We've played D&D together
Yeah.
back in the day. So when did you
I'm
start
looking
playing
forward
D&D?
to playing with Fritz. I haven't played with Fritz in a couple of years, so
Yeah, we got a reunion.
some of my best games, most fun games ever, playing with Fritz.
Yeah, he's going to be joining us too, and we're going to be making a character with him and the whole group here. So I'm really excited about that. And today, what are you making?
I think I'm gonna rebuild one of my classics that I had actually made with my buddy Fritz, Torg Buttswain, my half orc
Ooh,
assassin.
awesome. Torg Buttswain.
Fritz and I joined a game, and we it was just we found it off a website, and we showed up, and there was like 8 guys there in this very rambunctious DM, and Fritz had a sneaky sorcerer, and I had my assassin, and the game didn't last very long because there was a total party kill after like 2 or 3 sessions, and only Fritz and I were standing.
Wow, that's hilarious. So you bet you guys were the online gamers that ruined this campaign.
We ruined that guy's
You
campaign.
ruined it. Yeah. I can tell
And
you
I
a lot of
stole
work
all the
goes into
loot, and
those campaigns.
I gave Fritz his share, and that was it. Everyone knew it, and they couldn't do anything about it. Yeah.
Okay, so before we go further, let's roll our ability scores.
Exploding. All right, come on, baby. Torg needs a 18,
Oh God.
an 11. That 8 didn't
So-
count. I was just playing. All right, so 11. And
Gotcha.
just want me to just roll 6 right now? Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
we dropped the one of them, right? So that's what is that, 10? Oh, mediocrity. Okay.
Yeah, so you roll and I'll call them out, and I'm going to write them down to the side here.
Okay. All right, good.
So you've got a 10 to start
Come
us off.
on. Torg needs a 18. Whoa.
There you go.
There we go, right?
A
That's
17.
17.
Straight up 17. Right? So 10, 17.
Nice. So come on, give me another one. I want an Uber character. Oh, no.
Another 10. All right.
Watch this one be a 22. Here we go. Ready? And yeah.
That's not
14.
bad. That's actually good. That's a total of 13.
All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Come on.
Yep, 2
Come
more.
on. And shut my eyes.
There you go.
I'll take that.
That's a 14. That's solid.
1 more. Ready?
One
Here
more.
you go. And for Sanguinius. Oh, all right,
a
I'll
13. Actually, Chris, this is actually stellar. I know
Yeah.
some of them felt like low, and you had a lot of ones, but those ones dropped. So 10, 17, 10, 13, 14, 13. You have a total positive of plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's solid.
Yeah.
And no negatives.
Yeah, that's the good thing. No negs.
Okay. All right, so now we assign them. Where do you want to put your stats?
Okay, so we got to go with the. I have a 17, right? We got to put that in Dex,
Yeah, we'll put that in Dex.
and then are you doing that for me?
If you can do it, that's fine. It's up to you.
Let's see.
I can, or you can.
How do I? Oh, down here, right? Okay, I got 17.
Yeah,
Got it.
17
Okay.
is one of them.
And Torg's a hard hitter. So we're gonna. What's my next highest?
The next one was a 14.
And so strength mods still matter in fifth ed, right?
Not for a finesse weapon. So if you were going to use like a rapier or a dagger, then
Yeah.
you could straight up add dex to the damage.
Oh, so he's gonna be
Yeah.
dual wielding. So he'll be using finesse weapons for sure, right?
Yeah.
Rapier
So
and
if you used like a short sword and a dagger, you're good to go. Dex is all you need.
All right. Well
Mhm.
then, let's put the next highest in the Constitution.
That's a good idea. So
Keep
that
me
would be the 14.
alive as I'm sneaking around doing my thing. So
Yeah.
what do we got there? What was it? A 14?
A 14. Yeah. Although, with the half orc traits from the PHB, you would be getting +2 strength and con. Probably want to put an odd number for the con.
All right. So I had a 13, right?
Yep. You have two
Okay,
13.
put that
So,
there. That'll bring me to 14.
yep.
And so then I have a 14.
Yep.
And intelligence is pretty important, right? Skill points.
It can
Is there
be.
skill points?
It would depend. A lot of times, a lot of rogues go with wisdom because the perception skill is lumped together. It's not listen and spot and those types of things.
Uh-huh.
So noticing traps, that sort of stuff. Insight. Although,
Okay.
if you want to figure out how
Already.
something works, it would be
Already done.
investigation.
What's next?
You have another 13 and two 10s.
All right. Well, Torg is he's yeah, he's about strength too. So, and then I have two 10s, right?
You have two 10s and a 13 left. Yep.
Although so what's based on intelligence for rogues?
Um, so the biggest one would probably be investigation. Like if you were trying to figure out how something works,
Yeah, I
that
should
would
do that.
be
I
important.
should build a good rogue, not a good fighter.
Yeah, your strength also goes up by 2. So even if you put a 10 in, it's still going to be a +1.
Right. So what do I have left? I have a 10, right, for my charisma.
Yeah,
I'm
10
just
for charisma,
average.
10 for strength.
Okay, so what's next? Hit points.
So hit points. It probably will, I think, give it to you if we put in your 3rd level. No, it doesn't. Okay, so we have to figure that out. But it's very simple. You're going to be a rogue. Rogues get a D8. So you start with 8, and then every level after that you get half +1. So really, you're going to be starting with an 18. And then we add your con for every level. So 6 plus 18, we're looking at a 24 HP.
All right.
All right, so you want to write it or me? I could do it if you want.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You'll be faster.
Okay. So we're
I'm
looking
trying to
at
find
a
where I would write that.
24 HP, and you're going to have no
There it
temporary hit points to start. Hit dice, it's already filled in for you. You get 3 D8s. This is a short rest mechanic that they have. I'll kind of explain that when we get in the game, but when you want to take a break and heal yourself up, you can actually heal with these hit dice. And then speed is 30 because you are a half orc. And yeah, so basically all of the main parts of your character are already kind of baked into the character sheet now. Now we have to go to some of the more specifics of the rogue. All right, so the first thing you get for being a rogue is sneak attack, and you get something else called Thieves' Cant, which is like a secret rogue language, and expertise, which is the double proficiency for 2 of your skills. So you pick 2 skills you want to really be boss at, and those are going to be really great.
Okay.
So let's start with sneak attack. So if you hit someone, it's going to be an extra D6. I'm just going to write in sneak attack, and we could fill in all the other stuff like between now and when we play.
Okay.
At first level, and we're just going to do this as if we're first level right now because we'll just build up after we're done. You're going to be able to choose 4 from this list: acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, performance, persuasion, sleight of hand, and stealth. So they got a lot of skills. Generally, how would you describe Torg?
He's sleight of hand,
Okay,
stealth,
sure.
acrobatics. Does how much of a role does that play? Like in Pathfinder, it plays a huge role.
Sometimes it can be life and death, like in a grapple, or if something's trying to grab you, you can use that as opposed to athletics when somebody's trying to pin you down.
Yeah, we're gonna go for acrobatics.
Okay,
And one more, right? So perception.
perfect. Okay, and you will actually get more skills when we go into the background.
Right.
So that's possible that you can get those. Okay, so then more first level stuff. Under the proficiencies here, you do gain, under the bottom left, you do gain quite a bit. Okay, so you get Thieves' Tools proficiency, which is something that really only you get. So I'll write that in there.
Yeah,
Thieves'
yeah.
Tools.
You can put those in.
Yep. You get Thieves' Tools. You get simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. Now, I'm not going to go in and write this because you're only going to use weapons that you're proficient with. We're not going to pick weapons that you're not.
Yeah.
So we don't have to write that in. And then with your background, you'll also get another one. So we'll have to come back and circle back to this. All right, so that's the first level stuff. At second level, you get probably one of the best rogue abilities in the game, and that is called Cunning Action. Cunning Action, you can use a bonus action to dash, disengage, or hide. That's it, which is huge. So normally those would all be full actions, which means you can't attack and do those on the same turn. You could now hide and then pop up and shoot somebody, stab somebody, whatever you got to do, and get that sneak attack. Or, run in, hit somebody, and disengage and move back out of combat.
Nice.
So
yeah,
lots of really cool stuff with Cunning Action.
Good.
And it sounds like he's like you said, the two-handed wielder. You're somebody that's going to sneak up on someone, lay down the pain, but you're also agile and acrobatic enough to not get hit too much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. So that's Cunning Action. That's what you get at third level. Second level and third level is the biggest decision we have to make. But you do get 2d6 sneak attack damage at this point. So that's pretty good. Roguish Archetype. So the ones in the player's handbook, I take it you don't want to be a thief.
No.
Right?
He's Torg's aggressive murderer.
Okay. He's just a murderer.
Pretty much,
He's a commando.
His skill set is based on making him the best murderer possible.
Gotcha. Like a commando. You hide in the bushes and
so he's good at sneaking around and remaining unseen, and he pops out, kills, and then escapes.
Okay, cool. So then let's look at the assassin and see if that fits what you were thinking for this edition. All right, so the assassin at third level, which is what we're going to start at, you will gain proficiency with the disguise kit and poisoner's kit. So that sounds pretty good. Let's add those. Let's read through it first. Here's the big one, the one that everybody loves here. Assassinate. You also get this at third level. You have advantage on an attack roll against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet. So if you go first, you will have advantage on them. That will proc sneak attack. It kind of all builds into the same thing. Striking first, striking hard. And anytime you hit someone when they are surprised, it counts as a critical hit.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the assassin. That's what you get at third level. Should I even read any further?
I think we're good with that.
Okay.
One of the things that a lot of people do when they're building characters is they
the proficiencies.
They kind of build their character based on the rules. And I'm one that comes up with the way I want my character to play.
Yeah.
And build my character based on that instead.
Yeah,
Find
you have
the rules
a
that best
concept.
Fit that concept, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like I do the same thing. I have an idea of who I want to be, and as long as it fits, I don't really focus too much on the competitive side for D&D. Listen, that's what 40K is for. All right? That's the competitive
But we are
side.
40K players playing D&D, so.
Yeah. We have to put in your racial abilities, actually. We didn't do that for the Half Orc. So the Half Orc gets some really cool, powerful abilities in this edition.
Good.
The one that probably most people take the Half Orc for is Relentless Endurance. So
Ooh,
anytime Torg is going to get dropped to 0 hit points, as long as he's not killed outright, it doesn't do more than double his total hit points when he's dropped below 0. So it has to be a lot. At 3rd level with 24 hit points, if you were at 4, somebody have to do 28 hit points to you to kill you outright. So as long as you're not killed outright, you don't drop to 0. You drop to 1 hit point instead. And you can use it once per long rest, so once per 8 hours.
That's awesome.
Right? So you just drop, but then boom, you're right back up.
That's
all within the
get
same
out of jail free card.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what it is. So that's what a lot of people take half orcs for, that relentless endurance trait. You also get savage attacks. So when you score a critical hit, and this will tie nicely with the assassin, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice 1 additional time and add it to the damage.
Nice.
So if you hit somebody with a short sword, d6, you'd be critting, you would get 3d6. In addition to your sneak attack
Plus
damage.
the sneak attack dice.
Yeah.
And what crits? Does it double that? How's crit work?
Crits double the dice in this
All
edition.
the dice.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling 5d6. I critical.
Actually, no. You'd be getting 3d6. 1 for your short sword, 2 for the sneak attack. Those would double to 66. And then you can get 1 additional dice to roll with your half orc. So really, it's like 7.
7d6 for each weapon I hit with.
Well, it's only on a critical hit. So if you have to crit multiple times.
Right. So there's double attack, right? So I can hit with both weapons at once.
At this level, you don't have it. Rogues, yeah, and rogues actually, I believe, don't get it. Period. It's just something that rogues don't get. Yeah.
I guess they didn't like that. Rogues doing 80 d6 of damage.
Yeah, like in 3.0 and 3.5, at some point, every level, some level, a character class got it. Even like the wizard got double attack at like 10th level.
Yeah. So knowing that, would it be better then? Well, I guess to go strength based.
So my opinion is that the rogue works so well with the dex stuff.
Right.
Because you can only sneak attack with a light weapon, so you could not use like a great sword to sneak attack.
Sneak attack with a great sword.
Yeah. You just hear it dragging along the floor as you sneak up on someone.
Yes.
The rogue is hiding so well. The only thing is sticking up behind the rock is your great axe, like just like your pole arm. You can't get rid of it.
I love it. The halberd.
Yeah, I think you're better off sticking with a dex weapon and focusing on the dex. Let's go to the background. So in terms of backgrounds, there are quite a few in the player's handbook, and almost all the other supplements have backgrounds, but you sound like you kind of know who he is. Yeah. So I think this will be easy. A criminal, for example, you gain proficiencies in deception and stealth. So if you already have them, you could choose 2 different ones. You gain a proficiency with a gaming set. You gain some starting equipment. You get dark common clothes, a crowbar, a hood, belt pouch, and you also get to pick a specialty, like what your criminal career was. Like, were you a burglar? Were you an enforcer? A highway robber? And then you get some suggested traits on that. But it's more role playing.
That's good because Torg, he basically, the way I always envisioned him was that his main thing, he was a robber and highwayman. Robbing travelers because they're easy pickings, and that turned him on to becoming a mercenary assassin kind of thing.
Okay. So that could work because the feature from the criminal is you get a criminal contact. You are reliable and trustworthy contact who acts as your liaison to a network of criminals. You know how to get messages to and from your contact, even over great distances. Specifically, you know the local messengers, corrupt caravan masters, and seedy sailors. So that sounds like him.
Yeah, So I get 2 of these things, right?
You know, you get one background, but
Okay.
the criminal gives you all of those things I
Yeah.
listed.
So criminal is it because that is Torg.
Okay. So then you actually chose stealth.
Right.
So we'll pop deception. You get deception, but you also get to then choose a different one from the
Another one.
rogue list again. So, you know, acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation,
What's athletics
perception.
do?
Athletics would be, you know, other than the obvious physical contest, things like jumping, distance of jumps, other gameplay wise would be to initiate a grapple, to pin someone down, those sorts of things.
Yeah. Well, that's that fits more with his brute force kind of mentality. So we're gonna go athletics.
Okay, so you actually do get proficient in intimidation, proficiency intimidation for being a half orc.
Nice.
So pop that too. If you want to hit it, you can.
I did.
Okay. All right, so now it's gear.
Smooth
Now, when
criminal.
it comes
Okay.
to gear, I am not a fan of like, especially your third level. I just say any gear you think you would have is fair game. You're a third level adventurer. You're not a first time adventurer. It doesn't make sense to give you like 150 gold and then you have
Yeah.
to, you know,
I've never been a fan
micromanage
of
it.
that.
No.
It should just be here. You're a first level fighter. Here's what you have.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
simplify things.
I mean, as long as you're not saying, "Oh, I'm going to carry 10 longswords," you know,
No, that's
that doesn't make
ridiculous.
sense. But if it's just like I have these 2 or 3 weapons, this is my armor, you know, so whatever you want to pick, I'm totally fine with. Studded leather armor. You're only proficient with light, and it's the best one. It gives you a 12 base AC plus your dex, so your armor would end up being a 15. So we'll put your armor as a 15 because you're going to be dual wielding, which means
Uh-huh.
that you won't really have, um, you know, you won't really have the hand for a shield. I think it's probably
So,
best.
so question. Since I can't attack with 2 weapons, is there any benefit to dual wielding?
Oh, you don't get a double attack in the rules, but anyone can use their offhand weapon to attack as a bonus action.
Okay.
Okay, so you can basically do it anytime. Now, you do have a couple of things competing for bonus actions as a rogue. Like you might use the disengage action with your cunning action, or you
Okay.
might use hide. But if you're standing toe to toe with someone, it's the middle of combat, maybe double attacking is the best option,
Right.
and you would do it. So, weapon wise, you said 2 blades. Do you have a
Yeah.
preference for blades?
Uh, uh, Rapier and short sword.
Sure.
Is there a benefit to having a rapier? What's a rapier do?
Yeah, the rapier is the D8. It's a
Yeah.
better weapon damage.
Yeah. Rapier and a. Can I do 2 rapiers?
I believe you cannot because the rapier, the offhand weapon, has to be a light weapon, and the rapier is not light; it is finesse.
Okay.
So,
So short sword.
so those are your weapons. Do you want to have a backup ranged weapon?
Um, I personally think they're silly.
Torg or Chris Dubuque?
Chris Dubuque does and Torg.
Really? You think they're silly?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, then that's all it
Torg
is for
doesn't
weapons.
believe in. You know what? Unless I can have a hand crossbow.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like carrying around a big huge bow as a rogue, unless you're a bow user, it's just silly to have a big bow strapped to your back the whole time.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so you've got your rapier, short sword, and hand crossbow, and studded leather. That's the stuff you need statistically. Now it's up to you. So I think over the next week or so, if you want to think about items you might want, I mean, obviously backpack, bedroll, those things I'm not even really counting, but
Yeah,
if there's things that you think he would have from the player's handbook or something you could think of that makes sense, it's totally
I'll
cool with
look
me.
through the player's handbook and I'll add little bits of equipment.
Awesome. Any other questions?
No, this is pretty good. This is gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
And rogues are pretty straightforward. I think you're going to have a good time with the rogue in 5th edition.
Yeah, I think so. What are the other guys playing? Have they reported in?
So I think the only one I haven't heard from is Sean, but Andrew, I think you've met Andrew Rubino before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a regular on my channel. He is in my Descent to Avernus, the Baldur's Gate module that came out last year. We played for the whole
Nice.
year. He was in that campaign, and he's in the horror campaign that meets every 3 or 4 weeks. So he's a regular, and he's going to be a wizard. He's playing the same character that he's played in all of my campaigns. Dobby, he's reincarnated, but he's a elf wizard now. And I know Fritz, sorcerer probably.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, so we've got 2 arcane spellcasters, a rogue. I'm really hoping Sean is like a paladin or a cleric or something. Somebody who can like take some
Paladin
damage
would not
and heal.
enjoy playing with Fritz's sorcerer and Torg Buttswain.
All right, so I think we're good. I think we're going to stop it here. And then the next time you all see us will be on Saturday, December 19th. That's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You know what?
We are going to be playing a new campaign called Warhammer 40K Players Play Dungeons and Dragons. Chris, I want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Thanks. This is a great idea. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. All right, everyone. We'll see you on the tabletop.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.